Welcome back to History of Fleetwood Mac. I'm Anita. Today we're going to wrap up Volume 12. This will be Episode 6 of my Fleetwood Mac and Stevie Nicks scrapbooks. We're going to close out Other Side of the Mirror today. I ended my last video with some photos, if you recall, that were live. And actually, it did go, I kind of maybe should have ended on this one because this kind of went with it. But there were more photos from that night. And I'm just going to continue on from those. Kind of the accompanying page that I ought to have maybe shown with the other video, but I did not. There's so many that are similar here, but not quite the same. Like I think that these two here are really similar here, these two. Next up, we have a really cool little order form that I had. Couldn't afford to buy anything. In fact, it's funny. I also found, I'd shown you guys some pictures for my Halloween special, and one of them was me dressed up as Stevie in 1983. Be nice whenever I show pictures myself. But this one is another favorite of mine. This is when I first got married. So this would have been 90, good Lord, when I get married, 93. Wearing the shirt that I got at the other side. I still have that shirt. And it is my favorite shirt. It's worn, it's loved, it's paper thin. There's a little hole in it, unfortunately, with some of my videos. We were just married, so we had lots of cardboard furniture. But my ex, who was only just learning how crazy I was about Stevie Nicks and Fleetwood Mac, had kindly, graciously let me put things up in my house, our house, and our first apartment. And yeah, the more he got to know me, he's like, no, baby, I can't, I just can't. Until finally we got in a big enough place where we got a 2-bedroom apartment, and then he let me just have the entire other room to just deck out. It became like my little computer room and my little shrine room. But yeah, when we first got married and stuff like that, I just remember having this and that shirt, which I thought was so funny. But the reason I brought that up is because this was a cool little flyer that I had gotten, and it was to buy merchandise from the Other Side of the Mirror tour. And obviously that shirt, that picture is what's on the shirt. But I found this the same day I found that Halloween one, which I thought was kind of funny. So you could buy, let's see here. Of course I didn't, oh yeah, the prices are here. So the t-shirt, well, red t-shirt, front pocket logo, back the mirror. Black tee, Stevie with top hat in the mirror. Oh, I don't remember that one. But actually, they don't have the shirt that I'm wearing with this picture on it. But t-shirts were $14. $14 freaking dollars. They're $50. They're a minimum $50 at shows today. Now, I understand inflation. Let's go 89 to 2025. I suppose that isn't bad in the scheme of things. But I will say that the black and white designer, front pocket logo, back CD design. I remember there was a shirt that came out and it was like went down and then across, and it was like black, white, white, black, or something like that. Black, white, something like that. And it was from the Other Side of the Mirror. And I think that might be the shirt that's talking about. That thing was $40. Now, in 1989, I'm telling you kids, nope, not happening. And sales tax in California at that time was 6%, which now it's like 60. But yeah, that's pretty crazy. The tour book was $10, a steal. The bandana, which you'd see, $5. Oh no, I don't know if I can. The button was $1. Oh, the 89 tour book was $10, and the 86 tour book was $8. Oh, man. Isn't that crazy? Then this little thing down here, I still don't know what this is all about. This is a beautiful rendition, and these were on shirts. I don't know. Yeah, I really don't know anything about them. If anybody's got more information, I never was quite sure how these came to be. I don't know if it was just a really cool artist who did it and the artist had the shirts for sale, or if or what. I think that I had the shirt at one time, or maybe I didn't, but I know I had this picture and I've always just really liked it. I've just at a minimum just really liked the artwork a lot. The artwork is actually almost prettier than the real photograph. It softens her up a little bit. And, you know, as we all know, we talked about that photo, so I'm not disrespecting it, but it's just so harsh, that light, and so washed out and overexposed. It's a bit much. So I just like the softness of this. I like it softened up a little bit. Another review of Stevie Blossom Crowd is Spellbound, Blossom Bean. Let's see, where would that be? Blossom Music Center. I don't know. Oh, the Plain Dealer. Is that Ohio? I think maybe. Possibly. Yeah, the Plain Dealer. I think that's Ohio. Have a little piece up here. Yeah, kind of a cool little hodgepodge page there. This was another cool, aren't they all cool? Don't I say that a lot? We should have a drinking game for that if Anita says cool 1,000,000 times. This was a cool, Stevie was on the cover of a magazine for Dillard's. It seems to me like Dillard's was a department store. Possibly I'm wrong. Or there was a department store and whatchamacallit, a little magazine. But this was on the cover page, I believe, and then this was the article on the inside. Then these were kind of just like fillers, just stuff you've seen. Sorry. But this was for Stevie Bean, Compton Terrace. So again, Phoenix. Dillard's, I think, yeah, isn't that right? Isn't Dillard's a department store in Phoenix? Am I wrong? It happens. On the other side here, we have yet another really cool little piece. This was just like a little, I think it's just like a little CD insert separator thing, this little piece here. See, it kind of folds down small, or maybe it was for cassettes. And then here's the little hack that says promotional only, which is really neat. Then there's that gentleman again who I brought up a couple times. And again, I think that is Rupert Home. I swear to God, I'm gonna trip on that. I make a lot of videos in a row when I can, and I've had so much happen this month that I'm behind. So they're really several in a night sometimes. But I'm going to keep tripping on it until I'm able to go back and watch it. That I think I said at one point that it was Bruce Hornsby with Stevie in a picture. It's going to weigh on me. This was another cool little thing out of, I want to say, what was that magazine? Rock Express. That was either from Musicland or Goody Music or something like that. And it was this weird little thing on videos. Next, we have Stevie Nicks' Room on Fire. Stevie just doesn't age, does she? She actually got younger for this video. She hasn't learned how to dance, though. That's one thing that always is lacking in her videos. But she's pure 70s. No one white could dance then. So obviously these people are being spoken to about. So there's all these different people. So I don't know who it is who's speaking, but somebody says, I watch Soul Train. Somebody else, I happen to like Stevie Nicks. She stayed in her own weird thing. I'm not so sure I like that thing, but at least she stayed there. Do you think she was upset when they made The Witches of Eastwick and they didn't ask her to be in it? No, I think she was upset when David Letterman kept running that little video clip of her with her neck going back and forth. I'm kind of sad that she doesn't do that move in this video. Do you think she has a special clothes designer? I think it's the same one as Barbra Streisand used in A Star Is Born. She's wearing her pajamas on stage. Maybe she really started the trend of all these young women wearing lingerie on stage. And it just goes on and on and on. They call her Buffy St. Marie. They make all these, but it's just so funny. And I really like that there's just this kind of little still from the video, but it's pretty funny without being mean. Then I really like these two kind of candid pictures of her, all I think the same. Oh no, this one night, but I know I have some more from this too. This is a report of Stevie from the New Times, October 25th, 1989, whatever that is. A review about her in concert. And again, for a while, David Letterman would randomly run on his show the portion of Stevie Nicks' Talk to Me video where she spins with incredible velocity and abandon perched high on her platform boots and weighed down by yards of great velvet. You know, I never saw those. I didn't watch Letterman either. I wasn't a big fan of his in the 80s and 90s. Vegas brought up a lot. So I guess that was a pretty funny thing. Again, we have that timeless, very silent film star picture. That is the perfect pro shot. She's taken a lot of phenomenal profile shots, but I think that this one is the queen of the profile shots. That shadowing is perfect, and she looks like porcelain in these pictures. This is the remainder of that article. These were cool pictures. These I got on eBay many, many years ago. Definitely on the set of Rooms. No, is that Rooms on Fire? Pretty sure it's Rooms on Fire. Then to go with, I don't know. These ones I think were just a fan moment. But this one I want to say was her being prepped for the Rooms on Fire video. You know, tell me these pictures were taken in the 80s without telling me these pictures were taken in the 80s. What could possibly give away of what era these pictures were taken in? What could possibly tip you off? Some great photos of Stevie. Stevie Nicks attended a party at Tom Petty's in Los Angeles. Tom and Stevie have done some duets together. You don't say. Over the years, Stevie is now pursuing a solo career after being a member of the band Fleetwood Mac. She has a new album out. Stevie is now pursuing a solo career, as though that were just off the top of their head. That was the little blurb on the back of this beautiful photo right here. This was a really neat live shot of Stevie. I like this one too. It's with the fan. You know, that's something you don't see too often. Her holding a fan or something like that. You always see with the tambourine a lot, but with the fan is kind of a neat photo. And the whole picture, seeing the boots and everything like that, the whole outfit. It's again another great live shot. Some more amazing photos. I think that's actually what we're closing out this video with, by Paul Cox. Some of my favorite sessions, like when I talk about some of my favorite photographers, he's yet another favorite. But he's done, and he's worked with her over the years, but I think it's really just he's my favorite in this era. really, as far as professional photos went. And these are all some really great. I love this little smirk here. This was a cool little one I had found not too long ago, like from a artist proof. And then this one is one I had the negative to. You could really see the detail on this outfit. Carrying on, more photos by Paul here. This one. Lots of jewelry, lots of different jewelry for Stevie at the time. This was another one that I got in the negative to. And so it was kind of neat to blow this one up and have a larger shot of just the picture without all this stuff, where you kind of make it bigger and concentrate. I think I just did one like sideways like that, which was kind of cool. Then this one is just a nicely copied one. There's a little 3-part thing that folds out for the, sometimes it's a bitch, I want to say. There was like what the hell, it's like a deluxe single, like a 45, and it came like in a little packet. And then there's like this little trifold, and the trifold is about CD size, like 7 by 7 or 5 by 5, something like that. Anyway, and I think this is just copied from that nicely, a nice larger version of that. These photos also get used in time space era, which I have a really nice large version of this, which you'll see in a few books from now. And then I'm going to round it out with these really unusual photos of Stevie. Not really unusual, just I don't know why these have broken up like they have. That's unfortunate. Anyway, this one we've seen quite a bit, possibly. It's come unglued and it's fallen, but this one I hadn't seen too often. So now we got wow, Steven Tyler, Guns N' Roses, Axl, right? Is that Axl? And is this guy Alan? No, not Alan Parsons. Can't think who that guy is. No, he looks familiar. Tell me who he is. But he's not somebody I'd know really well. Like if I guessed, I'd be lucky I got the guess right. It's pretty cool. I guess they've been pretty good friends. I think they were neighbors in Phoenix, but I think that they've also gotten along pretty well. That would have been kind of a unique tour to see together. But I guess, does Steven Tyler do anything solo? I know he, just works with Aerosmith, but I think it just would have been fun. I think they probably would have had a good time. They're very different people now, and we've seen Stevie with oh my God, Anita, Rod Stewart and Pretenders and stuff like that. But I think they would have had a good time. Billy Joel, I bet they would have had a good time out on the road together. But yeah, I don't know where this is taken, but it's a cool little, professional, press kit photo type sheet. See how this is falling? I don't know why that came undone. Anyway, that's it. Hope you enjoyed it. Next up, we're going to start in with Behind the Mask. Great stuff in there. Hope you enjoyed everything from Other Side of the Mirror. As I go through this, as I go through for everything, all the little side videos and stuff I make, there's still so much that I find. Little pictures here, little stuff here and there. And, like already I've just ended Other Side of the Mirror, and I found things like, this picture, which was really pretty. I found another beautiful sticker by my friend, Jasmine Leslie, gorgeous work. This was a really cool photo, and definitely an unseen photo of Stevie and Lori. Very rare photo. candid one I'd gotten from some friends that were kind of close to Stevie, and not Stevie so much, but the girls and other band members for a while. So really unique. But, things already I need to make another page with. And, like I said, it's just never ending. I'm getting kind of mid to towards the end of things, certainly middle, far from doing the records and CDs and everything else that I've done. I'm like, oh my God, pretty soon I'm going to run out of stuff. And then I go through stuff and I look ahead of me just out of camera vision where you can't see. And I'm like, nope, that's just not going to happen. I just need to, get a fire into my ass and get pages made and things done. But there's just always a little pile right here of more stuff, for another other side of the mirror page, even though we're closing that chapter. So yeah, it'll go on for a while. Trust me on that one. So I hope you enjoyed what I did show you for Other Side of the Mirror. And if you're looking forward to Behind the Mask, hold on, because you're really going to enjoy all that stuff. So thank you again so much for joining me and for this volume 12 being wrapped up. And we'll see you next time. Have a great night. Bye.